CEO and co-founder.
I am many things. I have been many things. God. Wanderer.
Hi Wiggly, how you going? And hope anybody else has joined us as well.
Are nothing compared to those I will soon earn.
I'll just let this play out.
For I carry a searing flame that has flickered yet never extinguished, and an iron mantra that cannot be broken. The waiting will soon be over. The unfortunates will suffer, but this was never their world alone. That which was forgotten will be remembered.
Hi Jerry, how you going?
That which was buried will be freed.
Kill them.
That which was wronged will have its vengeance.
Okay, welcome guys, welcome. We are going to be looking at the preview of Endless Legend. So, and I've played it a little bit when I first got it, and I had a look at the date of my of the save game, and it was actually back in last month. So I haven't played it since then. And I meant to actually, I did want to play it a fair bit to sort of just get past certain portions of it, to sort of, you know, to get a bit more of a feel about the actual game itself. But I know that a lot of you are very excited for this particular game. It's of course Endless Legend 2. It's the Endless Legend 1 was really quite innovative, I think, in that, you know, when it came out, it had innovative factions and also an innovative style of sort of playing with the combat map. And I think there's been a lot of improvement with those aspects, or certainly with the combat map side of things. But I'm guessing we'll just jump in and have a bit of a look. So I don't really have any preconceived notion as to whether I like it or dislike it or anything at all. So we'll just sort of, I guess we'll discover that together. Now this is essentially a preview build. I just had a quick look online to see if there was anything, any information about the about demos or anything like that, the public demos, but I couldn't see anything. So and it's just got coming soon, so there's no real information yet, but it must be getting close. The fact that they're sort of now bringing this on out. I did actually receive some information about it, and I actually, but this was last month, and I've completely forgotten what it was. Sorry about that. It's in my email somewhere. So, but I've sort of downloaded the game, of course, as soon as I got it. It's a big game. From what I do remember, when it downloaded, it took a fair while to load into my computer. Even just the demo. All right, well, let's just sort of ease our way into it. Hi, Lewis, how you going? Saying hello from Canberra. Wow, you're up early. So Canberra's, of course, in the same time zone, I think, same time zone now as me. I know that I'm in Queensland, so basically it's either 1 hour different or whatever, but that's very, very early in the morning. Can you show the factions? I've only got 2 factions, but we'll go through the whole thing. So I'll just go through, ask me questions, and I'll just try to show what I can. Tenderfoot saying, how did you like the first Endless Legend? I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. And it's sort of funny, like I was talking about this the other day on one of the live streams. The thing I like standard old Lord of the Rings style factions in fantasy games. I just like it because you know what you're getting. Whereas with Endless Legend 2, like Amplitude is a French company. It's actually, so I should say that Amplitude is the developer, and they do beautiful work. Like, it's in terms of the graphic design of what they do is incredibly good, and you look at that with any of their games. And they also they're a French company, and they tend to sort of have like a bit of a different sort of slant on these sort of fantasy tropes. And so it's certainly the same sort of thing with Endless Legend 2 as well, where you're not getting your stock standard fantasy. And I'm thinking that that's just going to come down to whether people embrace that or tend to embrace, like I tend to embrace the standard old Lord of the Rings style factions, and which is a bit boring, but that's just what I do. So I tend to like those, but in this case we're getting something a bit more different. So I guess in my sense, I'm trying to open my mind up to, or my sensibilities up to sort of embracing what Endless Legends does. And Endless Legends 1 did the same thing as well, by the way. Like, it was very different, and you had to embrace that and just sort of run with it. So So Lewis is saying Gladius seemed like a reskin of this. I'm not sure if it used the same engine. I wouldn't have thought so. No, the Gladius engine was completely by a completely different developer, and I think that was built for, that is an engine that I think was built from the from the ground up. I'm not sure what Endless Legend has been built in. So I don't think there's any connection at all between the development companies, between Gladius and this one here. So I did enjoy the first Endless Legend. Didn't love it. So it was, and I don't know why I didn't love it as much. I think that the combat became a bit cumbersome. I never finished a game of Endless Legend. When I'm thinking back, I played it well and truly into the mid game, and that was sort of where I would often then sort of just leave the game. And I don't know if I was getting bored with it at that stage. I'm not sure. This game is different because this now has essentially there's this the water recedes and then opens up new land for you to then sort of discover. So there's always a sense of exploration, which is actually interesting. So anyway, let's go in and get started. So we'll just go into play. So I'll show you the different bits which we actually have. So if I go into new game, so I've only got a couple of things that I can play as, essentially. Actually, I'll just go and see if I can just change that sound. It's a bit too loud. If you look at the game, I'll just turn the music down. Settings. Just got a video settings, audio, and through here, master volume. I'll just bring the master volume down a little bit to about there, and then the music volume right down. That should be about right. There we are. I'll leave it a little bit so we can hear a little bit of it. You can hardly hear it at all now, but that's okay. Ridiculous is saying the combat is definitely a bit cumbersome. It was a bit hard to control backline unit movement the way I wanted. Yeah, and this is similar, very, very similar in what it does do. I'll just go back to the main menu now that we've done that. So play, new game. So we've only got two factions we can play with at the start. So if I go to change faction, I can either play as King of Sheridan, which is essentially hunting from the stars long ago. The kin of, sorry, not king, it's kin. I've only just woken up, guys, so you'll have to excuse me a little bit. So the kin of Sheridan have struggled to tame this world ever since their original leader, Garen, was lost to the wilds. And so essentially this is we might as well have a deeper look at this one because we're here for a bit of time. So we're here for a long time, not a good time. Actually, I hope we're here for both. So, once star-faring soldiers of a great empire, the kin of Sheridan possess great powers locked away. So what do we have? Stand united, so your units gain a bonus of shields for each allied unit adjacent at the start of a battle round. Martial builders, so military improvements cost less production. Or actually, what do they call it? Industry, nested in industry. It's the FIDSI system back from the original Endless Legends. I was actually hoping they were going to drop that and go to something else, but they've kept FIDSI. So if you're familiar with Endless Legends, I don't know why I wanted that to be dropped, but it just it seems so contrived. But I guess it works because it's a simple mechanic. All of their games have FIDSI in it, which we'll talk about when we get into it. As was ordained, so staying within the Empire Cities cap grants an additional bonus. Then religious fervour, so very high and low. Now that's the approval in cities. So I think that little is that governance symbol is approval. Yeah, approval is measured of the city's inhabitants. Each city has its own approval. Yep. So that's FIDSA. Maybe they put an A in there. Although I think that's separate to everything else. Idol's Grace. Each hero grants a bonus of Empire approval. So warrior honor. So when declaring a war, the starting war fatigue level is affected by whether the war is justified or not. Resilient heart. So units with their health regeneration increase their health regeneration per turn when under a damage status. Then we get the workshop. So as we go, we got our first little bug. That tooltip is not in there just yet, and stonework. That also doesn't have its tooltip with the version that we are playing. So that's the kin of Sheridan. We've then got the aspects, which I think these are more choral based. This is where I tend to again prefer to get those sort of like stock standard tropes in the fantasy. I can sort of like this one here Spacefaring, yeah, okay, I can sort of accept that one, sort of like, you know, in terms of my own sensibilities. But this one is aspects in through here. I think these are coral based, so an unlikely symbiosis of organic and the artificial. The aspects are a peaceful collective, always seeking harmony, and so they look like they're made out of coral. Aspects. Their origins lost in the distant past. The aspects are a symbiotic species, part machine, part coral. There we go. With physically distinct individuals who find blissful union in the chorus. A mind gestalt where all aspect can physically come together. Obsessed with preserving the balance on Seda through empathy and understanding, the aspect's peaceful existence has been upended by a devastating dieback of their life-enhancing coral fields. Will Seda ever see the illuminated realm again? So in this case, they've got reef regeneration. So your armies can regenerate their health through turns when standing on tiles with coral. Coral foundation, building a foundation on a tile with coral is significantly cheaper. Coral flow. On water, armies cannot attack or be attacked. Yeah, okay. Broken sensors. So I've got zero interest in playing this faction. Like, I've just being out there. This for me is like too weird. I really can't be bothered playing as it. And this is sort of like, again, just where sometimes I just got to suspend my sensibilities with these sorts of things. It's like a bit like, it reminds me of when I was started playing the Artux and the Wekarus. I've refused to play the Artux with the in Distant Worlds 2, just because I really hated them from Distant Worlds 1, and it was only when I actually was convinced to give it a go that I actually embraced it and could actually think, oh, this is actually pretty cool. But this one here is just, I'm thinking, this is too out there, so we've got the cultural exchange, harmonious tactics. In battle, when a unit switches to a defensive state, all allied units get a 10% damage till the end of the round. Cohabitation replaces assimilation of minor factions, granting one more effect. The voice of the masses, and again, we're not sort of seeing the different things in through there. So they're the two different groups. I really don't have any interest in playing this one. I'll just read the comments and see if you guys really want me to play them. For me, it's just, I lose the whole fantasy feel of things. Like, I just can't get into it, and it's that's on me. It's not on the game. Hi Byron, how you going? In Heart of Mithril. So the 24th is saying finally catching someone just starting a game. Yes, well, we are literally just bouncing into it. Hi Tenru, how you going? And Sigma Heavy Infantry saying appreciate the creativity of the races. Yeah, I can see the creativity of it. And this is again where I think that this where things are done a bit differently. But for me, I do prefer personally that going back to just basic fantasy races. Hi Supreme Plague, and from YouTube we have a very cool aesthetic in this game. Yes, we differ there. I love the unique style, says Reed. Wiggly saying I hate peaceful empires and 4Xs. I do too. Korosami saying I hear that they have strong military units. They probably would. And then Drex is saying, what do you have to do this while the F1 quality is about to start? Qualify, is it? Yeah, it must be the F1 qualifier. And Korosami is saying, do you want to embrace your inner warmonger? And friends are saying, this isn't open beta that I missed, right? No, this is actually a demo that's been sent out to like influencers and things and YouTubers. So I've sort of had it for a couple of weeks, but I haven't actually, I played it at the start. I played it a fair bit at the start when I first got it, and then I had too many other things I had to do. So I haven't really come back to it since then. And Joe was then saying, sponsored stream again today? No, this isn't sponsored. I can be, basically this is just a, I've had it, I was allowed to start playing it 2 days ago, and but I then had, too many other things I was doing, like we were playing Dwarf Fortress yesterday, and this is the first real opportunity I've had to actually then play the game since the embargo was lifted. And so, so I was thinking of playing it on the day that the embargo lifted, but because I know a lot of you are very, very interested in this game. I'm interested in it, but not passionately interested in it, if that makes any sort of sense. Now, as we play it, my mind may change one way or another, so we'll see how we go. I'm actually quite heartened that Hooded Horse is the publisher. Like they tend to really bring out some bloody good games, and so I'm interested in it probably more so from that aspect than nearly anything else. Francis saying the coral reminds me of Zerg with their creep. I think you're clutching at straws now. So they're keeping me busy. They are indeed. I love the first one. How different is this one? Well, we'll see that when we get into it. Like the mask ones, they had to convert everyone. Yeah, they're very different the way it does play. Now, again, I think the reason I do like the standard old, orcs and goblins and type things in fantasy is because you know what you're going to get, whereas these you have to learn. Every single one of them, you have to learn what they do. I think we're going to go and play as Kin of Sheridan. I just can't bring myself to play these sort of weird factions, like they just, maybe one day, but I've got zero interest in playing as that, like as a coral entity. In this sort of game. In fact, you know what? It's sort of. I was really scared when I first saw Endless Legend, saw the stuff. I thought it was going to be one of those preachy games about climate change, and I don't think it is. But that was also a big fear of mine, was that they were going to end up with sort of, with on the climate change sort of bandwagon in gaming. That there were so many games that came out about trying to preach to us all about climate change. And look, I know it's real and all that, but I don't. Games should be escapism, and so I was worried about that. And then when with the coral entity as well, I'm thinking, oh, here we go. They're doubling down on that aspect again. But I don't think it is. I think this is. It just happens to be that that's what we have the choice of playing, and that it's not, and that the actual. It's actually, well, it actually goes the opposite way. The waters actually recede rather than rise. Anyway, let's go in and play Kin of Sheridan and go in with an open mind and embrace the differences. So where are we get up to with the comments? Just see if there's anything else. For me, it comes down to how competent the AI players will be. I'm hopeful. I'm glad I caught the start of the stream. Endless Legend, one of my favourite games, says Klingzog. We all know orcs and goblins are always the best pick anyway. Yes, Tenderfoot saying halflings is his favourite. No, it's not. Anyway, let's continue on. So we go this way. Do I just click it again? That one there, was that... I've got Kin of Sheridan. So we're playing through the AI. We do actually have different AI opponents, so I can sort of chop and change. I can't go more than 4 in this particular version of the game. And I can't change a lot of what we have through here. This has sort of all been sort of set, like the world size is on normal. I can't change that one. The game speed on normal, difficulty on normal. So I can't change the difficulty. I can't sort of show what's going on through there. I do actually have, so AI opponents, I do have one of these weird guys. I've got necrophages. Now these were from the original game, of course, as well. Customize the faction, colour and icon of this empire. That'll be okay. Remove this slot and decrease the number of competitors. So I can sort of make it into a smaller game, but let's just leave it up there. So the necrophages were sort of like a bit of a weird undead faction. So this is like they were. It was sort of a grey, like they weren't purely undead, but they were, from what I can remember of Endless Legend 1, that was certainly a part of it was actually one of the factions I enjoyed playing actually in the original one. So Katsin sort of saying the necrophages were super strong too and cool. Yes, I did enjoy playing as them, but I can't play as them this time around. Now there will be, of course, other factions. Tips once settled, Doom Race will disrupt. I missed that tip. We do have a few extra little things here.
We came from the stars, the Sheridan, the right hand of Empress Elevus. Garen led the tattered remnants of our fleet here, ordered to find a new home. Yet this world has not been welcoming. Terrors in the oceans, scuttling horrors on the isles.
Okay, Mark, I can see your question there. I'll come back and show you that,
But
the
never
accessibility.
sway from our task, even when we lost Garen herself.
Tinder's got a question, how are 1 and 2 related story-wise? I've got no idea.
I will rebuild the kin anew. With the wisdom of the stars and the strength of the chosen, we will fight to ensure that Sayada is not a staging post, but our true home.
Yeah, so Karasami's saying amplitude always great with the presentation. Yeah, their graphic design and yeah, as I say, the presentation of what they do is incredibly good. I'll show you the options. I always like to actually start a few times as well, like just to sort of see what sort of different starts we end up getting with these sorts of builds, and sort of where things actually are, like what we can sort of see. We can just see the start of an area through here. Now the seas will recede like over time, so we'll sort of end up with I think that's like shallow, maybe sort of shallow back in through there. As I say, I haven't really played it much, but let's go and have a look at the accessibility. So we'll just go back through with the options. Yeah, so this is actually the world size, pace, difficulty. That's not what we're looking for. So there was a question just here. Would you look over the options for any accessibility settings for those with a disability? I was unable to play the first one because I used the Windows magnifier. This made tooltips show up off screen when the view was magnified. So we go to settings. Maybe it'll be in here. Here we go. Accessibility is the first one. So cinematic subtitles, yes. Leader subtitles, yes. Diplomatic subtitles in through there. Accessibility, drag and drop. So if enabled, replace all drag and drop by click. I'm not sure how this one then works. So first click to start dragging an item, and then click back to drop it again. Color scheme. This would be for like that would be for color blindness. I am colorblind, but I don't really need it. You've got the font size. Now I've got it down the smallest there, so I can go up to sort of like level 2. It's not really making a massive difference, to be honest, on this screen. I'll keep it smallish on this one, but you do have a little bit there. Left click to order movement. Subtitle colors and empire color. So that's the accessibility sides. There's a whole lot of other different things in through here. Keyboard through there. So FIDSI yields the negative, the hyphen key. Okay, that's interesting. Hex grid, yep, is that one as well. That's fine. God, there's a lot there, which I like. I like all that. That's good. User interface. Tooltips locked mode in through there as well, which I guess would help a little bit. Tooltips appearance delay, tooltips delay, tooltip lock delay. Yeah, so there's interface size. The interface is at 120% at this stage. There's a lot in there actually. So if that's helpful there, Mark, then yeah, there's actually a lot of accessibility back in there as well. Then the game plays as well with what you then can do. So we've got the tutorial on as well, but we'll just go back to the we'll just go back and resume. So when we do come back in, like the FIDSI, yeah, so we can I can turn that on or off just with the minus key, which is fairly useful. So I'll just start explaining things if you haven't ever played any of the actual Endless games before. You've got this this aspect called FIDSI, which essentially is what we're sort of seeing through here with the various resources, and it's sort of like pretty much no matter which game you play, you end up with this FIDSI look. I think they introduced one extra little aspect about one of the others, but it's food industry, which I'm not seeing any. There's those little icons there. That's industry through there. So food industry, FID. What's D? We've got science. I forget what D is. Where's another one? And I thought that was influence. This one here. Maybe it's, I forget what the D stands for, to be honest. So we'll see if we can find out. Okay, so Mark's saying, thanks, Daz, that gives me hope. Yeah, I hope that helps. There's dust, that's right, dust. So see, dust is gold. So that's the sort of thing I just wish they'd just call it gold, in these games rather than dust. I forgot about that. Yeah, so that's essentially the money in the game itself. So we're not sort of seeing too much there. Let's just go and start up another game and just sort of see what we end up getting. So we'll just go and resign. Click on OK and quick to main menu and start again. So play. We'll actually play this one. I just wanted to see the difference in what it looks like. So just go to new game. Start with all this again. So I'm pretty sure this is random when we do come in. Like I think we do have a random world builder in the game. All right, begin your legend. still looks very, the lighting looks very much the same. In this case, we've got like a lot of industry back over this other side. So we're not seeing a lot of the other things that we ended up having. Now this, I probably do want to get a bit of a balance with stuff, so I may start again with this one here, WASD to move around. So we do actually have some special areas as well on the map. Take your time to explore and choose the best location to found your first city. The city that will receive a prepared settlement bonus for each turn you spend exploring. So this is actually a really cool idea, I've got to say, with the way it sort of does work. We can look around, find a good location, and then settle. In the other games, and it's been a long time since I played Endless Legend, but I don't think that Endless Legend had this, where essentially you end up with a so this effect will apply to your first city. You found its duration is determined by how many turns have passed since you obtained the bonus. And so we start off essentially with this bonus where when we do eventually settle, we end up getting a whole lot of extra food based on the amount of turns. Oh, there we go. That's food industry, dust, science influence in through there. So we're getting that's the FIDSy sort of scale through there. And so with this one here, we end up with getting getting a boost. If we don't build immediately, like, you know how so many games really need you to build your first city within the very, very first turn. This one you don't. You've got a little bit of time up your sleeve to be able to then go and settle. But I'm thinking that we can just sort of have a bit of an explore around it, but we're not seeing any of the FIDSy stuff. We've only got industry and food, and so I'm thinking we'll just start again, just until we sort of get something that does look a bit more balanced, like what we got last time. So let's go, the late settlement bonus is great. Yeah, it's a very, very good idea. It means that you don't have to rush your starts. And so, and if we just go back in and resign again, and do one more. And play, new game, start. All right, so we're getting a little bit of we're getting some science this time. We've got some like a food resource here. This is obelisks, so strange pillars rise from the earth, glowing with a dull light. Bring your army to this tile to search for battle spoils. Now, there should also be independents on the map, and we haven't sort of come across any of those yet, and they're very, very important. Back through here, we end up with the with another. This is fiber spines, which is an anomaly. So the anomalies we make use of essentially with what we end up having. So we've got a good little start there actually between those two locations. I'm thinking that's what would be a good start for us. Hold shift to lock this tooltip. So you can actually just hold shift then sort of go in and start to sort of have a good look at everything. So it does sort of give us information like this is fiber spines essentially. So it's just the tooltips are very good, I can say, in the game from what I've sort of seen. Now we do need to go and settle a city. Oh, I'm thinking of just settling there, but maybe we'll just have a bit of a look around with this particular army. So we've got they're in a forest, and again, just by hovering over, we can sort of see there with what actually happens. A thicket of sturdy trees reach skyward. I think we get a defense bonus in those. Let's just go and start to hunt around a little bit. Yeah, so we're seeing different biomes in that other side there. Okay, there we go. We've now found ourselves, this is the Daughters of Bor. So this is the only surviving remnants of the Ironskins who once served Saida's ancient masters. The daughters wish to both forget yet honour their harrowing past. Bring an army to this minor faction village to interact with it. So we'll do an interaction with them. I've got a few different ways I can interact with the with the different groups on the map. So just hover over that one through there. Output is I don't know if I can actually. It's near water, so we end up with getting a bit more food. We don't know what they actually do. It's a village. A village is a home of a minor faction led by an elder. Villages can be attacked, bribed. So a bribe is an action where an army may undertake to pacify a minor faction paid in dust. A village must be in the wary state for the bribe action to be available. Parleyed with. So we've got. Oops. I'll just go and get that one there. So parley is an action that an army may undertake to pacify a minor faction. A village must be in the wary state for the parley action to be available. Parleying with, so I think it's either wary or war, basically, is essentially what they have. The parleying with a village triggers a minor faction quest given by the village elder. If the quest is successful, all of that minor faction's villages in the territory will be pacified. If the quest is failed, the village remains in the wary state. And then the last thing we can do is in order to be pacified. So pacified is a state of a minor village where independence has been broken. Pacified villages no longer spawn armies or dwellers, and existing armies will continue roaming without attacking the pacifying empire. So once pacified, villages cannot be attacked by the empire. Once an empire settles on the territory of a pacified minor faction, the minor faction can be assimilated. So the idea is for us to assimilate these and then take their take essentially what they can then go and do. Let's just go in and talk with them. So we'll just do that one next turn. So if we're going to pacify this one, doesn't have to be near our city. So we'll just have a quick look around here, I think. So we've got these little areas, this is a curiosity. Now, I'm going to not pick them up. Now, this is actually one where we've got dust. This is a giant orchids back in through here. If we have a look at settlement, yeah, I'll let it go for a couple of turns just so we can see. Oh, this is nice. This is very nice in here as well. Is this even nicer than this? I think it might be. Yeah, we've got heaps of food there. Now, I don't know if we have to be... Like, one thing I've forgotten with these games is whether we need to actually be in the range of our city to pick up what they do. I think we do, but I'm not 100% sure. These are blaze grapes. So a Sidon delicacy. The flesh of these gargantuan grapes is succulent and nourishing, but it's not telling me what I need to do in terms. If I go back to the city, back through here, found capital. Found your capital in this territory, only permitted in neutral territory. So if we have a look and just press shift and then go and have a look at these things in through here. So capital is the first city of your empire and seat of power of the leader, as well as accommodating the leaders. Official dwellings, the council also convene here. The capital plays an important part in a supreme victory. Okay, that's just one of the actual victories that we end up getting. And so in this territory, which is the actual territory that we're looking at through here. So we've sort of unlocked, I'm pretty happy with, one thing we don't actually have there is industry, but we do actually have industry over there. This looks like a very, very good location actually. So what I might do is I might just go and grab this anomaly. Maybe I'll actually... God, do I settle now? Like right now, there's a lot of dust over there as well in this other territory. Let's just settle here, I think. Bonner's saying a pretty great location, lots of food and dust and even production after expanding. If that's so we can expand to get the production through there. Got good food. In fact, great food. That's 10 food. 5 of the what the hell is that one? That is. It's in the FIDSI system. I'm not sure what that actually is. So food, industry, dust, science, and then whatever influence. I think it's influence. So I think that's like influence back in through there. Let's just settle here rather than sort of wait. So found capital. And so this is actually where we can then decide where we're going to settle. So we do actually have like a, we're getting 15 food there. If I move back off, these are the 2 areas that it's suggesting, which is where we were looking at. Yeah, so we do need to be in amongst these. Food, industry back there is 7, science is 2. In this case, we get dust, and we also then get the influence. So we do have another one way down over here as well, 734, but this is the best one, I think. So we'll just go into here. Did that one take? I've got a left click. There we are. Now, it looks like, yeah, the curiosity is still actually there, which is good. So you found a charts. No, the curiosity did actually now kick in. I was hoping to wait until we're trying to get the independent to come on board. So curiosity collected. You found the charts curiosity, which but discovered no rewards. Okay, minor faction discovered. So we've got that as well. So we have a bit of a look. That's the other one that we saw back over there, and the curiosity was taken from that location. Right, well, let's go and spend a bit of time just looking at the actual user interface so we sort of get a bit of a feel for what's going on. So we actually have our city in through here. So zoom back out, we then get like a cloth map. cloth map look, which is quite nice actually. Again, the graphic design in this game is absolutely top tier. Like all of the games are. They're just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful games. Yeah. So in the reader saying in the first game, food is growth. Yeah. For a non-mechanical faction, food is very, very important. I think there was a mechanical faction in the first of them. So so that's good with what we actually have through there. So we've sort of now got our first city. I'll just sort of zoom it back out to about here, I guess. And this is now Garen's Rest. Just see if there's any other questions. Yeah, those are very good food tiles. Yeah, the other spot had a lot of industry. Well, we can extend out and buy this. And we can buy that, I think, with the influence. I think that's sort of how we then make use of it. So I can actually go out and grab that as well to bring that inside the territory. Yeah, so Rita's saying in the first game, yeah, we could click the settle button. Yeah, so we got the same thing through there. The icon is stability. Okay, so the red icon. Which red icon? Not sure which one we're talking about, but anyway. Actually, that's influence there, isn't it? That's influence. So that's different again. So this is food. Yep, so food, industry. So currently produced per turn in your city. So we're getting 13 per turn. So the district and the artisans. Now the artisans are what? Artisans create industry yields while generating dust through taxes. And then the districts that we actually have. So we've got a city hall giving us +4. And then foundations with +3. Now, they're getting 1 there, and we're getting 1, 2, 3. There's the 3 there. So we can see them as we sort of zoom in there a little bit. So one industry there, and there. And then in the middle there, we've then got our actual, the starting location. We'll spend a bit of time with this. So again, I've got a bit of time to spend today with it. So we'll actually just really try to get a good understanding of what's going on with it. Yeah, so I just hope they can pull off the AI. Does it have a winter like EL1? I'm sure it will have. I'm pretty sure that seasons and things will actually sort of kick in. We'll have a look. Let's just start with, and really I've only played it like a little bit when I first got this version of it, and I don't remember much of it. I played it for a few hours, I think. Just different starts, just seeing how things are sort of different with this one. But I'm happy with this particular start. So we can get up to 1 other territory at this point in time. So let's just start through here. We're city level 1, backing through this other side. We can get up to 2 different territories. Fortification. The fortification level of your city is represented by the walls surrounding the city. In battle, attackers attempting to cross those walls take damage equal to the fortification level. That's, again, it's nice, simple mechanics. But just done in a very, very nice graphic design sort of style. Villages, the current number of pacified villages and number of minor faction villages on the city's territory. So we do have 2. There's another one we haven't found yet. And then we've got the food stock, the amount of food the city has stored. If the city consumes more food than it produces, it will deplete the stock. If there are no stocks left to draw upon, the city will experience starvation. Overpopulation is the usual cause of starvation, but sieges and other events can cause it too. So we have 20 of 20. Now I'm guessing we're going to be getting extra population fairly quickly because of the amount of food that we are bringing in. So so that's that basis in through there. This is approval. Okay, so it is actually, so it's FIDZA, not FIDZI. So this is approval, provides bonuses when it is high and penalties when it is low. And so at the moment our approval, we're 59% content. And so getting more of these, we end up getting 5 of those right from the start, which I think is a good thing. Population, so this one, it will also impact how likely it is for good and bad events to occur in your city. So population growth and overexpansion will decrease your approval. So and you can increase it by moving a population around in the population vocations, building districts and improvements, which we'll have a look at in just a minute. So current value 59% content. So in this case we have a breakdown. The base city's approval is 40. It's a capital. We get another +10. We get an empire bonus. Now this was. Yep, so this is Idol's Grace that we saw and was ordained. So this is what we get for our actual faction, and then the district that we have. So if we have a look there, we're getting 5 from the actual district. And so we have then artisans, is the artisans increase industry yields while generating dust through taxes. Again, these are our basic workers. And so the artisans are drained. So the more artisans we have in the city, the less approval we're going to actually ultimately get. Okay, that's the basis in through there. Militia, the number of militia in the city, we've got 2 of them. If I click on it, we don't get to see anything. That's okay. Just hover over. These will then, of course, just come out and fight. Just press shift. So in this case, militia are fighting forces made up of local inhabitants who defend their home settlement when under attack. Now that's one of the interesting things. When I press the shift key, you'll notice this actually, if I just let go of that, if I see how it's, when I hover over it, it then will click back in and become like secure. So again, I'm now sort of a bit more mindful of trying to sort of show more accessibility type things. If you, and I know that we do have people that watch this that have only got like one arm or something like this, and so in that case, without having to use the shift key, you can literally just hover over it. That little thing will then sort of go around. Once it actually goes all the way around, you can then just have a bit more of a look. Again, that next one goes in, and you can then have a bit more of a look. Next one goes in, you can have a bit more of a look. But if you go beforehand, hover over village, or go that way again, and then start to look, it will then disappear. But that way I don't have to use the other hand. If you're like, so I guess from an accessibility perspective, that's pretty cool as well. The tooltips are very good, I've got to say. Okay, then we'll have a look across at this area. So we've got we can rename it, I'm guessing, is what we have through there. When we have multiple cities, we're just going to have a nice, easy way of moving them around. Again, it looks pretty cool. That will then just take us through to the middle, to centre what we've got at Garen's Rest. In this case, you've got the food. So food is currently produced by like per turn in your cities, and so in this case, we've got the food. If food production exceeds consumption, then the population progressively grows. Otherwise, starvation occurs. So it is purely to do with growth. So populations represent the inhabitants of cities. Each population is formed from a single faction. So I'm not sure how much food we need. Leaders may choose which population to grow in each city, consuming food and impacting the city's approval. Yep, that's okay. We'll just let that one sort of do what it's doing. Industry, of course, is currently produced mainly for the districts and then the artisans. Industry cannot be stored and must be used each turn in the city. So the industry to build structures and to create units and convert it to other resource through the convert action. So we can sort of do different things with the industry. So we'll have a look at all these things in a bit of detail. Dust is currently produced each turn in your city. Dust is stored in the empire at the empire scale, which means that it's not on a specific location. Production is going to be per turn in the city. So this is actually on a city scale. Food is on a city scale, but this is global. This is a global resource. It has a wide variety of uses: buying out constructions, paying for army upkeep, purchasing strategic and luxury resources, and more. So that's actually pretty cool in through there. Science currently produced per turn in the city. Science cannot be stored and must be used each turn to research new technologies. So we're going to have to, of course, start doing that as well. The breakdown that we end up having is we do actually have some in the districts. Which district is it? City Hall. So City Hall in the middle there just gives us a basic amount. Influence. Currently produced per turn, influence is stored at the empire scale as well. Use it to expand your cities by building foundations. So we do need this for foundations. Foundations is how we're going to then pick up that 6 over through there. So we sort of need that one through there. But above all, influence is a key resource in diplomacy with other empires. There we are. So that's what we have there. Right, so that's the basic resources, the FIDSI scale. Then we've got the population management. So we can actually change this as well. This is pretty cool. So you can see through here that we've actually got different areas in the city. It's very, very simplistic, the way this actually does work. I'm not in the way, am I? No, that's sort of okay. I've got, like you can sort of see off the side there, we've got the, we can automate like in a balanced sort of way through there. We can agrarian, automate population placement to generate more food and influence. We can do it where we go industrial, and we can also then do it where we end up going more mercantile. So I can actually sort of then try to, I can push the specialization of a city without actually having to micromanage the actual group in through there. So this is a kin of Sheridan back in through this other side. These artisans do consume 4 food. Don't know if we can see that one. This is, yeah, we're getting the keyboard, sorry, the tooltip for these is not actually showing up. But if I go and move that one across to this one through here, so the citizens also use the same food. So +2 industry on artisans. So this is citizens, what do they do? Increased food yields while generating dust. So our food has gone from 15 to 19. And the dust is still 16, so that's actually okay. But our industry has now dropped. If I go back to artisans again, you can see that goes up to 13. So that's what we do actually definitely want. And if we bring them back down to scribes, that's going to then improve slightly our science, which, so scribes increases science and influence. Now, influence is doubled when we got scribes. So that's, we can see it through there, 1 and 2. Bring it into here. So this one does chew up approval. The other ones, that one doesn't chew up approval at all, actually. Yeah, and this one here does as well. That's -3, -3. So, that's interesting. Okay, so, and so yields per artisan, so +4. Actually, we can see it down through there. 4 food, 2 dust, and -3. This is 4, 2, and -3, and then 1 and 2 there. Yep, so that's okay. So we can sort of do that mechanically. If I go and click on this as an automation, I'm sort of just out of the way there. Then we end up getting, so he'll then be placed there, balanced. He's going to go back to scribe. I'll just go back this way and put it there just to get the industry. So we'll just keep on sort of going from industry perspective. But that's actually, again, nice automation, nice and simple with whatever you're doing. So this is the growth. We need 46, so +4 food consumption, +2 industry on artisans at the moment. So that's going to be 4 turns before we get the next level of growth. If I click on that one, yep, that's going to be okay. The kin of Sheridan, what we have there, that's the only population that we actually have. Populations, 0 of 2, so this is number of citizens, artisans, so that's the actual, that's giving us the mix. Then destitute, so placed in the destitute category when there's no more room. So the total we end up having is the 7, so getting this population count up to 7 is ideal. Okay, so if we go and have a look to see, can we, like if we were trying to then sort of go and pick up this industry area, I need to have 82 influence, and at the moment I've got 50, so I really can't actually do it. So foundation cost here is 82, insufficient influence to perform this action, so I can't actually expand there just yet. Construction in progress, there is none. If I go into this one through dire, I can convert production. So where sometimes an empire, due to tricky diplomatic, economic or military situation, might be in dire need for specific FIDSI. So to get the artisans activism, I can then go through, when placed in the first slot in the construction queue, industry will be converted into influence. Now I'm not sure how much we get with that one. And then what else do we have? We've got a few of them there. If I just go and click on it, I'm not sure how much we get. So I'm not sure what we end up getting with that one. I don't think it wouldn't be a 1-for-1, surely. I'll cancel that. We don't want to do that. Okay, back over here. What are these? Unknown resources. Okay, we've got specific resources that we can then pick up from here, which will be a little bit sort of different. Luxury resources, back up that other side. That's our global dust and global influence. Okay, so they're the globals. That's the game menu, so it just takes us back to there. But you can press escape to get there as well. All right, let's go through the rest of the interface. So we're over through this other side, we've got the kin of Sheridan. So this then takes us into the Empire screen. And so Empire approval is at 59% at the moment. City cap 1 of 2. Don't have any protectorates. We'll get them fairly soon. So we'll actually sort of aim for getting those. Population is just the kin of Sheridan. The faction affinity is kin of Sheridan. Strength of our zeal is just the starting point out through here. Empire traits, we had a look at them at the start, so I won't go back through those. Faction units and districts. What we end up having through here is these are sort of like the with what we can then go and get. So we can get the chosen. These ring a bell. So these are like big warrior units, so we can then get. So rumor has it that the original plans for the chosen were drawn by the hand of Garen herself, a source of remarkable power. And so in this case, they've got like a lot of health, a lot of armor. There's a juggernauts. So they cost 270 to actually go and build one of these. What else do we have? So these are all the different things we can then sort of have a look at. So we have Master Architect. It looks the same, and Inner Architect. Okay, so let's have a look at each of these as well. So this way we're going to get used to what we've actually got. So Master Architect, the apex of kin engineering. Only the finest kin are worthy of donning the Master Architect plate. And so what do they get to do? Unique can be built once in the world, so it's only get one of these. The what do we need to do with that? If I just press Shift, I can then sort of just keep it open. So Chosen's Wrath, when using this active skill on an empty tile or enemy units, ignores the defense. So it looks like it's a combat unit. It's got very, very good defense. It's another Juggernaut. So the Juggernaut doesn't have a tooltip. Protective Oversight, Righteous Wrath, Wall Breacher. So it's a big combat unit. Okay, so it's 100. What was this one again? So the yeah, so it's still got 100 health, but only got half what it has. This is an Inner Architect as well. So this one, wielding a refined edition of the Power Axe, the Inner Architect shapes the future of Seder. Back and through this other side, so that's an Axeman. There's another one as well, also a Juggernaut. So the first sword, again, very, and only one of those can be built. Then I think we have our more basic units, the Legionary. I think these are what we can currently sort of get, really. So this is the Legionary unit, ready to fight at a moment's notice. Legionaries swear a solemn oath to always keep their blades razor sharp. Actually, these are just basic infantry. Now, that's interesting that the actual damage that they do is about the same as the Juggernauts. The defense is still high. Critical chance, movement of 3. Just basic infantry, shield mastery. Okay, so these ones do defend fairly well. What's the difference between that and this? 35 to 50. 35 to 45. It's not that different, is it? So what's the difference? These cost 100, they cost 270. I'm not sure what the Chosen do as opposed to the Legionary, so I haven't played with these yet. And then we do actually have Sentinel units. So mounted on tenacious warbeasts, Sentinels swiftly scour the lands, seeking signs of necro incursions. And so in this case, again, no actual armour, so we have to be careful of these. These are a cavalry unit. These are patroller ones. When outside a battle, adds 1 movement point to all units of the army. Okay, so when we're not in battle, by having one of these in the actual in the army itself, it does give us extra movement points. So that's what we end up having. So they're the different unit types we can get, and we have a few more unlocks as well that we can sort of then go and have a look at. So Legion Vaults, underground drinking establishments for the Kin's fearless fighters. All right, can only be built once per empire. Martial discipline. We won't look at all those things. We'll get to those when we get there. Empire bonuses. Open the list of all the bonuses applying to your empire. And so this again just is this is where they do such a good job of the user interface and the user experience really with all of their work. We have a negative bad neighbours. I won't go through all that, but we'll just have a bit of a look. This just looks like a filter. Yeah, that's got no empire bonuses there. Yeah, so this is where we can actually go and filter everything to sort of see, okay, look, what is it? They're sort of they're not really classified. Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. So we get approval per hero on the city. I'll just go and get rid of those, and then we've got active events. Yeah, nothing much. Not sure what these do. Some sort of fake event thing. I'm not sure if that's to do with the tutorial. Okay, these here are council seats. Appoint a hero or notable as a councillor to gain unique bonuses benefiting the empire. So we think we've got one, have we? No, we can't do anything at this stage. To unlock the seat, reach the first monsoon. Okay. And then the council. So these are the locked seats, which we can't see just yet. Council candidates. We actually have a few different ones in through here. So that's the one that we're actually using at the moment, I think, is Ubi Rak. I'm not sure where these other ones actually are, but these become available eventually. We'll just go and close them off. So at this stage, we need to sort of go further back out into, I'll just close the council. Population overview, we've got protectorates, which we'll go and get fairly soon. Population bonuses, at this stage, we don't have anything. I think these may be as the different monsoons come. So when the monsoons come is when the waters recede. Empire notables. This is okay. These are notables that we can get, I think. It's a companion. No companion assigned. You can pair this notable with a hero. Here are all the notables you've found so far. Yeah, I'm not sure how we bring them in. So there's 2 of them there. All right. Let's go and close that. That was the Empire screen up the top there. So then we've got the victory. You can see our progress towards victory. We've got a score victory and a conquest victory is what's showing up. So you've got narrative victories as well coming soon, not in the actual game yet. We'll just go and close that one off. So that's victories. Then we've got the quest journal. We won't have anything in there just yet. So we do actually have a few different quests and things. So Breathe the First will eliminate 20 units, grant 1 level to all heroes of the Empire, if we can bring that one, and Bringer of Peace. Be the first to pacify 6 villages. So that's our first Tidefall number 1 aspect, I guess. So we'll just close that one off. Not that we really know exactly what that is. All cities and camps. So we now actually have a summary. Again, beautiful graphic design that they've got. In this case, we've got Garen's Rest. Looks like I can sort of then open it up to sort of see a summary of what we can then go and bring in. So this minor faction is hostile. This village is wary. It will spawn armies until it is either sacked or pacified. So we need to pacify this. So we need to do the quest because we want to get their groups in ours as well. So then we have a summary again, which we've sort of seen. Again, I can click on that to be taken back there. So that's the city list, which is pretty cool. So we can actually then sort of just go and have a look at the summary of what we're doing through there. That's all very, very nice. All camps. No camps in your empire. Okay, that's cool. I don't know what camps are. I don't remember them in the original game. So all military forces, view and manage your armies, not implemented. So we don't actually have this one just yet. The protectorates, assign and manage your minor faction protectorates. So this is where we want to bring the minor faction into this first slot. So we have a few that we can then sort of unlock over time. We have no active protectorate agreements with minor factions. Establish a protectorate over an available minor faction to gain unique effects and access to consumables in your empire. Again, God, the game, it does look beautiful. Like, it really does look beautiful. Sorry if I'm missing a lot of the comments here, guys. Just do an @DasTactic if you are wanting to actually ask me something very, very specific, and then I'll do my best to actually answer it. So I'll just keep on sort of going through and just see what we got. Okay, so that's all of those. Then we've got down the bottom through here yields. So show that this is actually just using the minus key, so I can actually then just go and either click on that one and turn off the yields. I like it on. I don't know if I like it on by default. Let's turn it off until we need it. So we don't need the yields at this stage, and then we've got the grid, which if I turn it on or off, we can sort of see. We can see without it, can't we? I think I'll keep it off. Let me know in the chat if you would prefer it on. Yeah. So let's have a look at this army. So what do we have through here? All we've got is a scout, a sentinel unit. That's all that's actually there. And for this hero, we do actually have a legionary plus Ulwi. Now we've already gone into that area. Let's just go out this way a little bit more. Yeah, that's not going to happen this turn. Okay, so they've both sort of now moved. There's no more movement. So when we actually open this one up, we can see different things that they can do. Auto explore, army upkeep is 3 dust, so we're getting plus 11 at the moment, and movement speed is 3. Yep. So then we've got next army, which is this one here. Locate the army, which we just have. So I can just go back between these two armies. Again, this one's got 5 movement, so I'll send this one off to talk with that location. So I can disband units. That's always a bit dangerous. I go and click on these. So this one then just gives me the rundown of the actual unit itself. There's two upkeep for this particular one. All right, let's just go and end our turn here, I guess. Actually, over through here, what do we have? We have the, this is Hero Circle, so open or close the Hero Circle to manage your heroes. So at the moment we only have Uwe, so Uwe Rak in blinking through here, level 1. Working capital, yep, that's okay. Oh, okay, so working capital, councillor trait. So this is plus 15 industry on the capital if he's a councillor, but he's not a councillor yet. Yep, that's all okay. This one here is the is technology. We don't have any research at this point in time. So again, looks beautiful with what they have. There's no we can sort of go from era to era. So this is the years of invention, years of toil. So the first one is years of survival. So these are sort of eras. But the thing I like about these eras, I've got to be honest, is that yes, there are eras, but I don't think they're dramatic in the sense of like civilization. And I think what it is that every era is introduced by the tides receding and then opening up more land, and I find that quite an interesting take on the on doing eras. It's eras without being eras, but it does actually then give you a whole new exploration phase every single time that there's actually a new era. And I really got to say I do quite like that. So we've got a few suggestions here from our advisors. One is to this one here. What's it going to do? This is voice the masses. They might be lowborn, but together they wield power. So unlocks a district, the forum. Let's just have a look at the forum. So +1 influence on each adjacent district, and +2 influence on each adjacent improved district. Well, that's important for us. That is important. So that's something we probably do want to go and get. This one through here is the strength of Garen. So when Garen strikes, the world trembles. So +5 defense on the unit, +2 industry on the keeps districts. We'll have to have a look at the districts as well before we sort of end out what we're doing. This one here is society. So foolish is a leader who fails to harness the hidden desires of your people. So typically society is usually where I like to sort of start with things, like to get the economy running. So this one here is military or defence. This one over through here is discovery. So this is another good one that could be useful. And so in this case, from this area, it's saying scientific charter. So improves your rewards from curiosities, unlocks district laboratory. And so the laboratory will be something we can then put in a district. So +2 science, +1 science on the tile, producing at least 2 types of yields. Yeah, we've got a few of those actually. So we can get 3 science, +2 science for each adjacent anomaly. And we have them as well, +1 influence if adjacent to district. For influence, that's a bit of a good one as well, with what we could then go and get for ourselves. And then finally back over here, this is economy. So yeah, usually this is sort of where you start, but we do have a dust coming in. So this one here is currency, and so unlocks the district, the merchant house, +4 dust on the capital. The merchant house is going to give us +2 dust, +1 dust on tile producing dust, a -2 dust if adjacent to merchant's house districts, +2 influence if adjacent to a district. So gosh. Forum is going to then allow us to open up. I think we're going to go that way, actually, with the forum. I won't have a look at these other ones. We've got civil order. These will all give me different sorts of, like this one opens up the farm. The farm is then going to give me more food. I don't need food at this location. This one here, stonework. Unlocks district stronghold. +2 district. Yeah, I don't need this stage. Scavenging. I always say those sorts of things and then regret it. Like everything in warfare, there's an art to it, so gain battle spoils. I think that we go this way, just to try to get more influence, although this one does ultimately give us a little bit of a boost. Let's have a look at the forum again. +1 influence for each adjacent district. +2 influence for each adjacent improved district. Actually, we're not getting much with that, to be honest. Whereas this one here, getting the laboratory. So, so +1 science on tile producing at least 2 types of yields. And if we go back and have another look, if I just close that for a second, and then go and press the minus key, and open this one up, 2 yields, 2 yields, 2 yields, only 1 yield there. So I've got a few different locations here that actually would be viable for the districts. So let's go and let's go back into research again. Where was that? There we go. And I will go and grab this one. Okay, so 6 turns until we get that one through there. Just going to close that one off. So that's now, I don't know if it's showing up anywhere. Also got this as well, reminders. Choose a constructible for your city or camp. Yep, so we'll need to go and do that one. So idle armies have been done. Idle research we've now done as well. I like this. I like this. So choose a city or camp. Choose a constructible. Now what's a constructible? A constructible is an element that can be built with industry in a city. The two main examples are units and structures. So I'm thinking I'll start off with structures. So we'll go that way. If we go and have a look at, well, let's have a look at this one here. So if we go into the actual foundation, we can see down there we've got foundation, highlights all units that are built with the foundation on it. So that's actually there where we can expand it. This is districts. So they're the districts in the actual village, in the village itself. Improvements, we don't actually have anything else in through there just yet. Units, we've got the units, population, and landscaping. This is very nice again, isn't it, really? So districts. So if we go into here and just see what we can actually build. So when we click on this one, we then end up getting the build queue. Select a district to build on top of the selected foundation. Now I've only got 2 of them here. I've only got, like this one here is a works district. So ceaseless noise of industry is music to a leader's ears. Placement details, we get +2. Now we get +2 to industry. +1 industry on tile producing industry. +1 industry for each adjacent ridge, which I don't have. And +1 influence if adjacent to a district. So we're not going to get much there. We're only going to get 2 industry. In fact, it says there the placement details are only 2 + 1. If I go back to one of the others, for example, is that a ridge? That's a 3, yeah. So we end up getting a little bit extra there. I think there's a ridge there or something. Oh no, there's an extra industry there anyway. And then we also then have this stronghold district. So +2 district fortification, -5 approval if adjacent to communal habitations, +1 influence if adjacent to districts. Now this one's not adjacent to actual districts. Go back to foundations again and then districts. Yeah, the districts are these 3 here and this one here. So we don't get, this one's not adjacent to other districts. Yeah, so there's a bit of a science to building this, isn't there, really? With what it does have. I think what we'll do in this case is we'll go and maybe build a unit instead. I think we'll build another of the legionary units. So we'll just go and start to do that one. That's then taking up all of the industry for that one there. It's going to be 8 turns before we get that one. I'll go that way, and then we'll start to then build up other areas. I don't know about doing these. Look, only getting 2 is not great, so I think we'll actually aim for doing other things with these districts and try to get our influence up a little bit. So let's just leave that one there. That's all the checklists have now been done. So we've done that one through there. We've got our research. This is diplomacy. So we haven't met the others yet. So we'll just go back out of that one. Then we've got the next army. So we can actually just go through from army to army, even though they've actually all moved. Yeah, there's no more movement with those. The next one is the next city or camp, which is just the city itself. Again, it's very, very functional the way it sort of does work. I think we're done. Let's just end our turn. Finally end a turn. What are we, an hour in? Over an hour? I'm just going to grab myself a drink of water. We'll be right back. Alright, we'll be able to start to rattle through a bit faster now, but anyway, that's a very thorough look at what we've actually got and how things are actually then sort of working. So with the group, I do need to keep on exploring with this particular group, and I could even split them up, I'm thinking. I don't know how we do that. This is guard. If I go and grab the unit itself, there we go, that's easy, you just grab the actual unit itself. So we'll move these off. Actually, before we do that, let's go and talk with this. So we're coming in, they're wary of us. Now, did it say that one there, Daughters of Boar? So we end up having parley. We can either go and bribe them. Now, we need at least 300. We've only got 61, so that's not going to be good enough. We can do pacify all the minor faction villages of the territory through a quest, or we can attack it. And so attacking it is going to be a desperate battle, which is, well, of course, we're not going to win this one. We'll have a look at battles and definitely make sure that we get to do those. They've got an overall strength of 197, so start a battle with a minor faction in the village to destroy it. Now, we don't want to be destroying it. We want to be claiming it and then sort of making use of it. So we'll do the parley. So pacify all, yep, so we'll just go and do that one. So a matter of history. I don't speak with outsiders, especially if I don't know them. And with every second wasted on foolish talk, the scrolls decay even further. And so what do we need to do? We've got... yep, so this is General Natalia Sheparenko is the one that's sort of doing the talking here. Okay, minimize the quest dialogue. Let's go next. The kin of Sheridan may be outsiders now, but we would earn your trust. What are these scrolls? The Daughters of Boar keep our guard up for good reason. I'm chief jest, but also memory keeper. I hold our past and teach it with the scrolls. So where are your so that's where your history is kept, and you say that you're decaying. Maybe we can help. So the tribe must know our triumphs, our sorrows, the dark days of our imprisonment, and all we overcome. This cannot be forgotten. The past will not fade away while I still breathe. This looks like some sort of goblin. Okay, so then we've got, at times I almost feel the scrolls are alive, drawing the world around us. So this is us saying this one. Odd as it may be, I think that they may be preserved by returning to the places where stories, with the stories they tell. So what do we need to do here? Oh, here we go, be delicate things. Yeah, so anyway. So what we need to do is search Boar's Retreat. And so we end up getting a lot of influence, which would be ideal. Well equipped plus, so well equipped on Legion units for 10 turns, and pacifies the Daughters of Boar. So we'll begin the quest. What do we need to do? Search Boar's Retreat. What's Boar's Retreat? No idea what that is. Begin quest. Search Boar's Retreat. It's Ashland. It's the Daughters of Boar. Oh, over there. Alright, so we have to get to there. Okay, so we've got a quest to reach that particular portion of the map. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll end up heading out with you, and then we'll marry up with the others as we sort of come back forward. We've got, looks like we can go this way. Okay, that's as far as we got there. Then we've got the other group. Okay, we can get down there, that's good. So start to just move all of these back up together. And if I can join these in with the, probably with the leader there, we'll just sort of see how we go. So we'll sort of start to move this one across. Do we have a time frame on that one? Go and have a look at the quest journal. Looks like there's no actual, that has been pinned. Yeah, so we can just keep that one pinned. So we'll keep that one going there. That's going to be okay. Just close that one off. So that will just stay up where that is. That's nice again as well. That works out fairly well. Is that all one? Yeah, this is Hashler. That's another zone. That's the old stuff. I'll just ditch those messages. Okay, that's good. Nothing else we have to do here, so we'll just end our turn. Hey, we got a turn done in what, 10 minutes? Actually, even less, I think. I think it was 5 minutes. 5 minutes for the second turn, which is very, very good going for me. Yep, so we're seeing the coastline there. Just keep on sort of moving through. Only water courses in through this other side. No more movement there. I'll bring this one back up this way, I think. Yeah, it's just that one's going to get right there. Not sure what happened there. Why they stopped. Okay, and our turn again. Even faster. That was 1 minute for that turn. So they're now involved in that one. We found dust in there. Found a curiosity. What? Quest failed. What the hell? What happened there? So we've got. Hang on. What's going on with this? History can no longer be completed. Why? That is very, very annoying. We'll go back. We can now move at 4 with this group. I wonder what's going on there. That's very strange. Is this save scum time? How on earth could that have gone? Sorry guys, I'm missing. So Supreme Plague saying in the city screen the 02 next to population, is that the number of cities? Yes, that's, well, it should be one of two. One of two there. Is that what you mean? That one there is the villages. This is the pacified villages on this terrain. Well, we missed that one. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know how we missed that quest. It's not telling us what actually happened there. That annoys me. I've got to say. I find that very, very frustrating that we don't get any information as to why that happened. Yeah, I've got no idea. Well, the idea was it was supposed to go to here. This is still active. Now, does that mean that we still go ahead with the quest? It's not there anymore, though. Ah, this pisses me off. Now, I don't know if it's just there's a bug in the game or what that is. So why has that gone, and why did we get no information about this at all? Okay, so Bruno's saying in the quest top menu top, there's a toggle between ongoing quests and completed quests. Let's have a look and see. I'm not seeing it. Hang on. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure. Does that mean we have to go all the way back, talk with them again? All right, well, let's do that. This shits me off, I've got to say. Because it makes no rhyme or reason. So Clinton's saying the only thing you need to do is was search Boar's Retreat, which is here. That's the quest. So that's what we were supposed to do. Boar's Retreat. Is that Boar's? This isn't Boar's Retreat, is it? No, this is Garen's Rest. It kept on showing over here as if this was Boar's Retreat. Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, that's one negative for me. Corresponding saying, what's wrong? Well, we got the quest. It then failed, and it didn't tell us why it failed. So, very frustrating. Yeah, I'll have to move a unit across. We'll have to go back now and talk with them. So I'll keep on moving these over. and see what we find. See if we can do another quest. It's yeah, so it must be a glitch. Yeah, I'm thinking it must be. I'm hoping it is a glitch, to be honest, and not something that's happened. I have to go around, so we can't cross that. That's interesting. Go back and talk with them again. Quest requires your attention. 20 winters have passed since the mantle of leadership fell on General Sheparenko, yet she could remember no harder time. Missing youth. What's this one? Devastation of storms have scarred many kin, and ensuring starfalls have stirred ancient memories of their own time travels. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Sermons. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Just tell us what it is. Just minimise and give us the quest. I'm going. So what do we need to do? Still regrouping the storms. The kin must deal with the disappearance of a headstrong kin. So we've got... quest is not started. Play the... can you just play the whole bloody dialogue? Okay, so search mosaic halls with a hero. So objectives and rewards. So we'll begin the quest. And that's over there. That one's still there. Okay, we'll end our turn here. Okay, we've now got the laboratory. That's going to be the quickest one. There's an anomaly there. Okay, found some charts. What does that one say? So, they're hostile. What the hell? Now I'm going to lose this faction as well. Alright, this is pissing me off. This is, yeah, really pissing me off now. So this is... why did that change? We're doing a quest for them. This is annoying me, actually, I've got to say. Got pacified another faction? No. It's just they became hostile. That's why we didn't get the opportunity to do the quest anymore. And now we're going to lose this unit. All right. What should we or could we have done? It didn't tell us that they went hostile, so we didn't get any of that information. Yeah, save scum. I think so. I think let's go back and do a save scum, because now we're going to lose. This is now saying that there's a combat here because of where we are. Oh, God, this is annoying. All right, well, let's go back and load in. And where did that happen? Around about here, wasn't it? Just see, we may have gone a bit further on. Quests. No, missing youth is actually there. Yep, so that was before there. We'll go back to where it's all sort of started. Was it turn 2? Would it be all the way back there? Yeah, okay, so we haven't done the quest yet. So what I think we'll do is we'll move the hero off. That'll be next turn. Might leave that one behind. And we'll just see what happens again this time. So at the moment, they're hostile. They'll attack you on sight. We can still parley with them. So it wasn't the hostility. Matter of history. Okay, so next. See, why does it go over here? Why did it go flick to there? Search Boar's Retreat. Begin quest. And there it is down there. So what happens? Why does it change? Let's leave those where they are. So they're going to attack us on sight. So maybe we do move these back a little bit. And keep those with those. And move you off. See if we get the same problem again this time. Again, I tend to just experiment with games a bit to see what, like, you know, what's happening and why things are doing what they're doing. I'll just end the turn there. Now these still have to be given instruction, but if they're going to bring out an army, I think I prefer to be back in here. So I'll just go and keep them where they are. So we'll skip, end the turn. Trying to figure out what's going on here. I won't explore that just yet. Okay. Get rid of those. Still active. Okay, we've got further this time. Let's blaze grapes. Skip that one and end our turn. 20 minutes have passed. Missing youth. Okay, so yeah, so we somehow, I don't know what happened previously. So we'll just do this one as well, begin the quest. Now is that going straight back to that same location? Yes it is. So both of them are still there. Torso leathers found, okay. So I think this is actually where we can go in and set up the hero a little bit. Do that one. What's the bet? The quest fails right now. I'll almost put money on it. We'll go to equipment. So we've got the torso leathers. So this is plus 35 hero health on the hero. So we just picked that one up. So it's already. Is he already wearing it? No, he's not. There we go. So we might as well throw them on the actual hero. Actually, he didn't look as good there, did he? Profile. So we've got illustration there. So these are the various, so I can add a companion in for him. Choose a soulmate for the hero. Capture point when performing any capture action. Plus 2 capture point. This one here is, I'll just go with this one here. I don't know what they do. Got a sign. Okay, so we haven't done this before. And you've got a nemesis, particular enemy who has wronged your hero. And his this is pretty cool. so you can share the hero's burdens. Oh, okay. No, that is. This is the house. Different again. Yeah, I'm not sure how that works. All right, let's continue that one. What we want to do here is go back in and this group. I'm not sure what this is. This is something I haven't seen before. Curiosity collected. So weapons, yep. Got the torso leathers. Found those. I'm not sure what happened previously then to cause the issues. We can't do anything with that particular house. So I'm not sure what that does. Okay, so we've now got the laboratory. Let's confirm that for now, and then we'll just go through. So we've got 2 messages in through here. So, in we go. Matter of history, as I thought. The past is always printed on the Seder. The daughters know it, and our scrolls know it too. The rot has fallen away from this one. I'll soon restore the others. Is that all we have to do? Rewards earned. Okay, so this is conclude the quest. Alright, so quest completed. Okay, so I don't know what happened there previously. I've got no idea. But this is now sort of where we want to be. Now, these are warriors that were already wandering around to now are no longer going to be a problem. And so we have the pacified village. Let's just spend a bit of time now figuring out what to do with this. Completed the objective of Matter of History, thus gaining the following rewards. Now, we did get rewards, so it's still not working properly. Scientific charter, we can get rid of that as well. Okay, so he's now come through. We've now got 219, which means that I can then go and get that other location. If I go back into here, here we go. Just this is tutorial. Provides you a city district influence. That's okay. Click once. Lots of terrains that can build a foundation on. Now this is actually costing even more. I'm not sure why. Creating foundations. From time to time it's good to, if you're a city's economy, to create foundations which will exploit more terrain tiles. Prepare them for new districts later on. Yep, so we definitely want to grab this one. Okay, we're down to 97 now, so this is now costing more than what it did before. I'm guessing because we somehow picked this one up. Let's just leave that where that is. But we now have this one in here, so we're now getting 24 industry per turn, which is good going. So we're going to be getting more production. Let's just go back to. Sorry, what we're going to do? We're going to go and do the. There's a lot we wanted to do at this sense. We've got the cities. The missing youth is the last one that we have available. Victory. Heroes, research, diplomacy. Now that's big diplomacy. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for how we then get the protectorates in. Protectorates had their own area. I thought quests. Where would that? Where was that before? We sort of saw it there. It was up here somewhere. Militia, population management. We won't worry about that one so much just yet. I was sure it was that we actually clicked on a button to take us right there. It's the grid. Oh, here we go. It is a button. So we have one slot available. So we can get the Daughters of Boar. Do we just assimilate? Oh, we don't have enough now. Oh, it still takes 150 of this. I thought we got 150. Insufficient influence for this action. Oh, I should have. Just going to minimize that for a second. If I cancel that one back, if I just close it off, we're getting +5. It's going to take a while. Let's not get this. So let's just go back and do another save scum. So just go and load in. It's the start of the turn. I've got search boar's retreat, so we'll just go back and do this one straight away. So we have 69 there. Next, conclude quest. Now we get a heap. So we get the 150. So we did get 150 for doing that one, which now we can go back to the protectorates, and now we can assimilate. Cool. Okay, so unlocks notable Gorham, so we end up with a different type of unit through here. There's a Huntress unit, so though few living can claim to have heard them, the war songs of the Huntress are astonishing complex melodies. Now these are not super strong. They've got a lot of health. Just infantry, never yielding. Yeah, these are berserkers. Okay, that's cool. That's good. So Spring saying that house is some kind of outpost, maybe from one loot you picked up and skipped the message. The house I got is different again. That was actually when we got the companion. I'm sort of tempted to almost just start again and see what it's like a second time through, just to sort of get a bit of a feel for it. But we'll do this assimilation through here. So we've got that one. We've got Daughters of Boar. For keeping themselves, yes. I'm not sure how we then activate the others. All right, so I think we can now just go and build them. But is that something we would have wanted to have gotten? I could cancel the assimilation there if I wanted to. Anyway, that's fine. We'll just leave that one there where that is. We have another protectorate over there as well. We'll just go and close it. So that is now a protectorate. And I'm guessing, do we have to click on it to get what we want? Or do we just go straight back into here? Go to units. Yeah, there they are. So we've got one more turn coming with this one through here. Select the unit you wish to recruit. Let's go and grab one. She didn't really come up. So we've got one turn there. Okay, let's move this off. And there is the other one down that other side as well. Oh, that's a good food one. There's a couple of good food ones back out through here. Move them out this way. Idle army. Yep, so he needs to go back up to here. Let's just do a bit of scouting up this way. Can't get across these. Idle research. So we've got that one through there. I'm not sure how many of these we need to before we sort of then end up with this one back over here. It says 3 of 8. 3 technologies to unlock Era 2. There we go. So if we go into... that one was sort of I was interested in. I might just... That was the one that we wanted to get. This one here unlocks Market Bridge. Unlocks District Defend Bridge. Okay, so +2 vision range on City Hall. Don't really need that one, I don't think. I'm thinking this one we do need. Voice of the Masses. I'll go that way. Yeah, the house. Now, if we have a look at the house, this house is... it's not telling us what we actually end up having. Oh, that's actually what we're building. Okay, so we do get the build queue there. Convert production if we needed to. So Garen's Rest is actually a district, I think. Does it connect up with everything else? Got one extra there. I think that's the Haven. So I think that is the actual, yeah, this is Haven. So a place to call home for a pair of partnered up heroes. So in this case we've got the two heroes that we got. So if we have a look again at heroes, it's military forces, victory. Now where's heroes? So that's all we have. It's actually, so this is a building on the base. We've only got the one mission left. Now, we should have a second hero somewhere. Let's just go back to our units, our actual hero unit, and just see if we can actually figure out what's going on here. So the profile, we've got Sasha. Now, if we go and look at this one here, see, Sasha should be in there somewhere. But we don't have access to her. So I'm not sure what she's doing. Yeah, no idea. I've got no idea. It's a skill tree which we haven't looked at yet. When they level up, we'll have a look at this one. That's the hero's circle. No friend. It's not going to help us. It doesn't help us. It's the equipment. Okay, it just rotates. I thought that was going to go through to the next hero. We're not seeing the other hero, it's just a companion, basically. So this is just what we can then go and do. So we've got passive, active, all. There, that's okay. Arch unit. Yeah, I'm not sure what he does. Yeah, so this is his equipment profile. Okay, so we can do it through there with the different aspects. So I'm not sure what she does. I can't select her, so I've got no idea. So I'm saying surprise EL2 has a dating sim in it. Yes. Maybe he says visit a house to pick her up. Maybe. Okay. Well, let's move him back. We'll move him back up this way and get him to go back up and do that quest. Okay. Quest completed. Yep, that's okay. We've done all those. In turn. Extra dust. So let's just search that one out. There's a couple in there. So that was the other one. So they're both been pacified. And we've got the next group there. Let's just keep on scouting. If I just go and grab this one, I'm just going to get it to auto explore. You can just go off and sort of see what it can find. So we'll do that with that one. I might keep these together, but still maybe put them on auto explore. Oh, you know what I should have done? Another minor faction discovered somewhere. Back in here, districts. I had wanted to now build a laboratory. So it's going to take 11 turns because we've still got 5 turns there. So it does queue them up. There we are. So we've got the... I was wondering whether it sort of just brought them in or did them sort of a different way. Curiosity collected. Minor faction discovered. Back over here. That looks interesting. Better move them back out, I think. We ran away, so they were aggressive. Right, so we will have to go back in. We'll start to now prepare for attacks. And we'll do this one and then go back. So we do have to be careful of this. Okay, well, we can only have one of them, but that would be interesting to have a an actual unit like this, a flying unit, more so than just another infantry. The infantry we've got is a bit boring. Found some weapons. There's a curiosity. Okay, that's cool. So where do we find those? Way back over here. Actually, I'm going to have to bring them back, I think, because we've now got too much going on. Yeah, so they're still coming forward. Where's our other army? Missing youth. There we go. Quest type things. Across the ruins must be in Garen. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Okay, so okay, General, our scouts have sighted necrophages in this vicinity. We must have discovered a nest. All right, all kin to arms. Let's see them off. So destroy the necro horde. Begin this quest. We've completed one quest. And got more curiosities. Alright, so they're coming back this way. We need to get our military back home again. So we'll have to go and clear out this necrophage, sort of like an undead group. Yeah, so I think we'll just end our turn. Actually, there should have been more armies. They're over there now. How'd they get there? It doesn't make sense. They ran to there. What is going on here? That's right, isn't it? They were... We saw that we were over here. We ran to there. And then we lost half our points. Now we're in the middle of them. Back here again. This like it's probably just the the point of when how this has been, at where we are with the game, but it's yeah, overall it looks good, but just these sorts of things just are very, very annoying. Screecher. And now I've screwed this one up as well, so we'll probably be safe scumming again in just a second. If we get attacked. Yeah, so I think we're screwed here. Units in battles. Yeah, so this is actually, if I try to retreat again, it's now been destroyed. Alright. Well, I'm thinking of actually completely starting from scratch again and just seeing what the differences are if we play again. I'm finding some of these things, just the overall, again, this is a similar thing that I find with all the Amplitude type games. They look fantastic. The graphic design looks great. But sometimes just these little sort of substance things just don't really make a lot of sense. And so we've actually lost that unit. Yeah, so so the actual mechanics often end up not having the polish that the game sort of portrays, in my opinion anyway, which is frustrating. I sort of ran past there, like that means we now would have to completely build up. Let's start again, just so we can sort of see the difference with a new game. I mean, this is I'll no doubt be playing this again, but let's just now that we've learned a few lessons, we'll just go back in and go back to the main menu and go to play, new game. So just keep all of this sort of where we were before. We won't have to do like all the exploration of everything, so it'll be a bit faster, or a lot faster, I hope. Alright, so we've got the different anomalies. So we're looking at a slightly different area. Let's go and put the FIDSI on, and just so we can see a little bit of what we've got. We've got a production area back over there. So Beamham is the actual province we end up having. What I'll do with these, I will split these off. Just have a bit of a look around. You can have a look up this way. There's some sort of anomaly. Okay, there we go. We've got a chromo weave bow has been found. So if we just go across where that is, and just go back to our hero. It's identical to what we've already got. Yep, so that's not going to, if we could sell it. No trading post built. Okay, so we can't do that. Alright, we'll leave that one there. Yes, and we can't play the necrophage yet. This is Kurosami. Yeah, I think you'd enjoy eating there. I preferred them. I liked them from the original game, actually. I'm saying on a related note, these boring dependent species seem extremely boring. These boring dependent species, yeah, just like grey-skinned humanoid with long face and basic infantry, to the point of why even add them? Yeah, I know. It's a bit like that. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking let's try again and see what if we end up with a different experience. Like, you know, were we unlucky last time? What have we got this time? Don't tell me it's the same ones again. I think it is. Yeah, it is. Alright, let's start again and see if we can find something different. So we'll go into quit to main menu. Okay. And play. New game. Start. What will we get this time? And that may be just coded in for this run, like where you've always got that particular one. Let's just go and grab those and move them off in this direction. Move the hero off in this direction. Ah, here we go. We do have something different. Finally, we've got something a bit different here. So we have ourselves foundlings. So what do we know about these? And again, I would prefer to find out about them before we I want to know what sort of weaponry what sort of units they're going to provide us if we were there. So we can parley with them. Foundlings unlocks notable Brother Brook, but don't know what Brother Brook is. +6 health regeneration when pacify villages under protectorate on unit. Okay, so some weird, I don't know what this one's got on it. So visitors voluntarily, what a surprise, we're busy at the harvest of course, but perhaps that's why fate has brought you here to join the festivities. Let's see what you're harvesting. Blah blah blah. Again, I get sort of sick of the dialogue of these things. So we need to destroy wretched creatures, and we get the Almashak baton, and pacifies the foundlings. Right, so now we have this group that we have to now destroy. So what are these? So we are in battle again straight away. So this one here is when we then end up in a trouble. So this is already a hard battle. Destroy the wretched creatures. If we go in for it, waiting for confirmation. So this is where we then play, and I do like this aspect. I liked it of the original game as well, but we're then playing in this region here. So, and I think that if you choose the angle, you can sort of then try to get a better, like you can sort of pick where you're going to be coming from. So these are bandits. Imperial Pike there. So we're in trouble here. I'll do a manual battle, so we can sort of see what it's like. Smooth him up. Let's see how we go. And we do have the protection from standing next to each other. Doing a little bit in there. And then from here, what do we have available to us? We have defend. This unit will enter a defensive stance, ending its action and movement and granting an additional defense. Let's go and do that here. That's going after our ranged unit. Not sure what the blue is for what we're doing. And again, I'll just go back into a defensive mode here with that particular one. This one's definitely causing issues here. Yeah, there's a zone of control. Let's just stay where we are. Yeah, we're in trouble here now. All right, and just stay where you are. This one out. Not doing much damage with our hero. Yeah, we're going to have to start defending with him, I think. And we'll defend with you as well. And defend. Alright, so it's a draw. We ended up with a bit of damage done, so we'll acknowledge that. So they've been damaged, we've been damaged. Can we just go straight back in again? Yeah, no, we've got no more movement, so we'll just end our turn here. It's saying we can still do something, but I don't know what. I'm not sure why it's saying that we can now still do what we have to do in this other side. It won't let me end the turn. What have we got to do here? Idle army. Army without orders. So this one here, I'm guessing we can still attack it. But what we'll do is we'll just go and heal up, recuperate. Yeah, should be able to end our turn. Yeah, now we have full movement. So we've recuperated a little bit, and that's probably enough to take this one out now. Yeah, they've hardly had anything happen with them. So waiting for confirmation again with the actual combat. So we'll just do manual combat again. Not sure what that is there in the middle. Okay, we'll end our round there. So again, I'll just, because this one's not a good attacker. Great. That one's through. It's sort of weird, you don't get to see what they can bring in. Like there's no... Like we've got our units which we can sort of move across. And actually with the extra range we're doing fairly well here. This is good. We're now sort of weakening them to the point where their damage is coming down, I think. See if we've got upper ground. Oh yeah, we've got a slight rise there. Yeah, so we do have a bit of an advantage. You're damaged. Okay, and what have we got there? Slowed. And we should have it now. There we are. That was good. Okay. Special crop. Next. Conclude the quest. They've now been pacified. Now, can we actually make use of them protectorates? We just did, didn't we? Quest completed. Hero point of... so we've upgraded there a little bit. So we did get our victory, but we're not sort of seeing too much on this particular location. We've got dust and production there. Just end the turn again. Yes, we have this. We're now up to this. Like the cost is it's 4 turns now with this delayed settlement that we actually end up having, but haven't really found a place that I'm really all that happy with, to be honest. So that's a victory of what we ended up getting there. Springflame saying, did the hero level up? Yes, he did. We might as well have a look at that. So if we go to level ups, skill tree. So we've got different skill points in through here that we can then sort of unlock. Not sure what that does. That's might, improves the offensive skills. That's resilience, intuition, and determination. And these, okay, these are filters for what we then sort of see through here. So supported attack when attacking a unit adjacent to a friendly unit adds 15 damage per adjacent friendly unit. Adds 3 extra damage per might. That's actually not bad. This one here is when gathering a curiosity, gain 5 experience to all units in the army, gain 2 extra experience per intuition. Guiding light. So it's 5 damage to non-hero. I think I might go that way. Confirm that one. So we've got the 1 hero point now available. So that's going to be useful. We'll just go and close that one off. Yep, so he's now level 2. And we haven't really found a location here for the city all that much. There's nothing great, is there? It's 11-6 there, and that's about it. 6-10-4 there. So we've got all our movement. Yeah, this is not great for constructing the city. 11-6. Yeah, this isn't really all that awesome. Only food. So I think this is a pretty bad start that we've got ourselves here. And more dust. There's the other one, which has been sort of pacified. Yeah, so in this case, I'd be restarting again because the actual city locations are terrible. There's just really nothing here on this province. Shola does not look good, does it? Okay, so Rex is saying only on turn 4. Guess you haven't had a monsoon. No, I haven't even got that far. So Voster saying, how's the game been so far? I'm actually not impressed with it, with what I've got at this stage. I definitely would want to play it again. But I'm looking at the tactical battles. I'm thinking, I mean, you know, it's like if I'm being honest about it, it's okay. Everything's just, in my opinion, it's just okay. Again, so much is hidden by the nice graphic design, but the underlying game mechanics for me are not fantastic, which is disappointing. It's still, yeah, I don't know. There's nothing really innovative, you know, from Age of Wonders. From sorry, not from Endless Legend 1. Tactical battles are simplistic, from what I can see. Hopefully I'm missing things there. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's just really yeah, it really doesn't look that great to me, to be honest, in terms of the experience. I mean, it's sort of, is it immersive? Yeah, I think it is because of the graphic design. I think the overall, the look of it, it looks great. But, you know, I haven't really played enough of it yet. We haven't gone through a process. But this for me is now another restart because the our starting location here is just going to be too slow for us to sort of progress. I'll do one more restart, but then I think I'm going to like if, you know, once we sort of hit a wall there, I think I'm going to call it quits. I'm not sort of yeah, it's early days, says Korosami. It is early days. I don't want to say it's a crap game. It's not a crap game. I didn't mean to say it like that. But it's not a game that's impressing me. Like, you know, it's not a game that I would be thinking, oh, I've got to play this game. Whereas, you know, other games are in that category. Like, and this is not one of them. But it may just be because we had that hiccup with the quest. It really pissed me off. I've got to say that I was surprised at how much that pissed me off. Because it made me read all of the stuff, go and set it all up, and then all of a sudden it was halfway through it was then gone, and I don't know what that was. That looks like it was some sort of bug in the game. So I also don't want to be like this is like an early preview of the game, so it's sort of one of those things where the game will be better. Yeah, so we've got. So I can't read the lettering there, but you're saying hope they fix the crappy combat system in EL1. Well, from what I can see, they haven't. It's still very, very simplistic. Where the only real interesting aspect is that you pick your own battlefield by, you know, choosing where to fight, and then it makes it out of the actual land itself. Yeah, I don't know. Like it's and again, I'm guessing you look at the tactical systems in for example, Age of Wonders, and it's chalk and cheese in terms of the what you're getting out of the actual tactical combat. Yeah, it's not a game that I would pick up at this stage. Thinking, wow, I've got to play this game. And I don't know if I'm being harsh. Like, it's one of those things again where I haven't really played a lot of it, but it's already not like I'm looking past and I know I play a lot of games that got really shitty graphics, and the graphics don't really sort of worry me that much, but I think the graphics are what's carrying this at the moment. Let's start again, because this is a really poor start. Let's just do one more start and see where we end up. So play. I'm actually tempted to play the Coral People, these guys through here, but I can't bring myself to do it. They're just too weird.
We came
Yeah,
from the
Korosami was saying I think
stars,
it could have
the
served them better
sheriff,
to keep it in closed beta for longer.
the right hand.
I don't know, like, it's sort of one of those things where, like, I get where the devs and that are coming from, Begin Your Legend. I'm not sure when this is due for release. Okay, we've got a crappy launch here again as well. No industry. I think even just from what we can sort of see through here, I'll just move these off and just see what we find. Okay, we've got a different sort of grouping through this other side. Some sort of hydrocorns. These look interesting. Dust. That's not bad there. That impact crater anomaly. Just move this one up. Well, that's all we actually get in this little area. So this is again not a great start location. So no real production. So Orangutan saying it's supposedly early access from summer, so not even a full launch. Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad about that, because at the moment, but I'm thinking like the underlying game mechanics are not going to change, and the combat system is a bit bland. Now it may chop and change a bit over as the game progresses. There are certainly new things coming, and we haven't even gone through the first monsoon. Yeah, you've only got 120 turns to play, right? Yes, yes, that's what I have in this one here. So it's sort of it's fairly compressed. Yeah, I don't like this start. I'll just do one more start. Play new game. You're from the Coral Country. Yes, I know. But I just can't bring myself to play these sort of strange groups. Okay, I've got dust. Got some production back over in this one. These also don't... Oh, we've got a bit of production in the middle there. Let's just see how we go here. Again, we don't have a real lot to play with this one here. It's a different type of group. I guess we get a feel for what we're going to get from these, from the units that are standing out through here. Looks like more infantry again. So these are black hammers, which looks like they'd be interesting to actually have in your army. But are they adding stuff? Yeah, I don't know. Like I would have thought that the independents would actually add something a bit more unique than just infantry. So I'm not sure if I like that as well. But I really haven't played enough of it. Well, probably what I should have done in reality is really played a lot of it before I started doing like a live stream, because I only played it. I played it for about an hour, I think, and I was doing the same sort of thing as I'm doing now. Is just sort of stopping and starting, not liking what I'm seeing through here. There's no real good city locations that we're sort of seeing. There's a 827 there. That's about it. So there's a 10-4 there, but these are not great. These aren't going to sort of help us much. So. Yes, Fox is saying it's like why even bother with this? Just play Age of Wonders 4. Yeah. Yeah. So are you factoring that the water will recede? No, I'm not actually, and that's the thing. To be fair, I really should be paying it longer than what I have. But again, this is a crappy start. Go back to main menu. One more start. Let's have a quick look and see. But I am sort of running out of time now as well. So I'm thinking I'm going to probably call this session to a close. Yeah, it's just I feel frustrated with the game, and even though it looks good, there's a degree of frustration with it. This looks a bit more interesting. Lots of food up the top. This looks better. Production there. We've got cliffs all the way around here. This does look better, a lot better actually, as a starting point. Well, let's go and split these off. And we found these Daughters of Boar again. I wonder how many different independents there actually are. I'm guessing there's not a hell of a lot. There's the other one. So I've done most of the exploration here. If we just go and grab this unit now and just go to found capital. So that one we get a lot of good stuff. So that's actually a really, really good start there. So at least that's a good way to get going there. Okay, so with what we end up having, but I probably won't be playing for long enough to get through the next monsoon, I don't think. Again, I just want to reiterate that I haven't played deeply into the game, so I'm not sure really what we're going to be getting. I'll just right click on that one. I will build another unit in here, so I'll just go back into the city, and so that's the Legion. If I go this way, go to units, and we'll grab another of these units into here. 8 turns before we get that one. Let's go to population. Yep, they're in artisans, which is fine. Happy with that. Okay, let's keep that one going. We need to go and do a quest. That's got no more movement. And that one doesn't either. doesn't. So we'll end. Actually, we need to do research. I'll grab the scientific charter again. Again, the game looks beautiful. Like it's a beautiful looking game, which is what you expect from Amplitude games. They really do look good. They just don't have a real lot of substance, and unfortunately, I'm not seeing the substance in this game. Just personally, I'm just not seeing it. End our turn there. Yeah, so maybe things will look up next playthrough after some updates. And yeah, look, it's this faction I'm actually happy enough with. Like by the look of it, by the time you sort of get the juggernauts with it, it looks like it's going to be a fun one to play. So yeah, it's hard to know. Let's go and see what they want us to do this time. Parlay again. Is it the same quest? Probably will be. Matter of history, yeah it is. Blah 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 blah. So where do we need to go? Quests. Oh, hang on, do we have to accept it? Begin quest, there we are. Alright, so search for Boar's Retreat. Where is it? Way over there. So, in this instance, we'll now move off. So they're hostile with us at the moment. Some charts. I'm just getting extra movement for a little while. They've now moved. Not sure if we have to move down to get to those. There's some good other little locations out through here as well. You can't right click to remove them. You have to go through every single one of them individually, which is a bit frustrating. Got 4 movement there. Now there's cliffs all the way around there. Let's just move down this way. Move these across. Okay, next, complete quest. Now we have pacified them, but do we really want to bring those other units in? Maybe I will. Again, these are actual units that they have, and you should really be able to see what they've got. I wonder if we can. If we go and have a look at the... yeah, so we do get to see the Huntress. So it's like a Berserker unit. But this isn't as strong as our unit. The health is 140. It does 35 to 42 damage. Power estimation 98. If we go and close that one off and go back to our stacks, back through here, go to units. So these are, see the power here is 124 for our legionary unit. Does the same sort of health, so does the same sort of damage. It's got 10 protection. Health is 140. It's the same deal through there. It uses a shield. The upkeep is -3. Dust. What was the upkeep on the others? Okay, this one doesn't cost upkeep. Alright, well that makes it worthwhile then. So, yeah, that does make it worthwhile. We'll assimilate this. Okay. So that's the only real reason for it, is to have it cheap units. They've been pacified. This army, we'll just go and pick up this loot. Weapons curiosity. Scientific charter researched. Research a new technology laboratory, we'll confirm that one. Pending quest, missing youth, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So the same deal as we had before, which, now I don't know if it's going to chop and change it. That may just be guided through because it's a tutorial type arrangement. But we've had that each and every time. Okay, so we don't have to worry about anything at the back here anymore. So there's some good locations in here as well. Okay, poison salts found, so tough and gambersome found as well. So if we go into this location here, and then just go and add those into the mix. Still got a bit of movement here. We'll come back and pick this one up. Don't know if we can't settle another, found a camp to claim a territory. This action will cost influence and increase the number of territories already claimed. This one looks pretty cool actually, like just with the things that we can then sort of go and grab from here. Good production back that way. Suggesting there, I was thinking here. Let's not bother with that one. So compelled to die, saying howdy, how's the game so far? Excited for this game's release. Yeah, I'm becoming jaded by it, to be honest, which I've sort of spoken a little bit about, and I feel like I'm maybe being overly negative, but I'm not loving it. I'm finding it sort of more frustrating than anything. Let's go back. Now again, it's early. This is an early version of the game, but I'm finding it sort of superficially looks great, like on the surface, but the actual underlying mechanics have not really been all that impressive to me. It feels very much the same, with the same old FIDSy system. I mean, if you enjoyed the FIDSy system from the previous game, then yeah, that's still got that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing a real lot of difference. But again, I haven't played past the monsoons yet. Missing youth, begin quest. So where's that one? Back over there. Yeah, so for me it's just, yeah, it's not really been anything fantastic. Go that way. It's not terrible. It's just not great. So Steve Bryan saying played some Quasimorph for the first time in a while, Dad. So weapon repair kits are now a lot easier to craft. Yeah, it's sort of I think that with that game, like if I'm being negative about all the games that we mentioned, the thing I don't like about that game at the moment is with Quasimorph is that it's too difficult to end up with the it's too difficult to trade, and I hope that they address that fairly soon, because that's an interesting part, potentially an interesting part of Quasimorph. So yep, so yeah, it's sort of a tricky one. Well, I think I might start to wind up actually. With this one here, we haven't really gone too far with this. It's functional. There's nothing really that compelling about it, from what I can sort of see. Just need to turn here. Maybe just play a couple more. Just minor faction discovered. So we've got a different one through here. We haven't seen these before. But again, they seem to be sort of like just basic infantry type units that we see. There may be something more to it than that we haven't seen yet. Let's go and talk with them. Parley. So who are these guys? Glory days. So it looks like the quests for these groups are going to be always the same, I would guess. I would imagine. Unlocks notable Taylor, pacifies the solace. So use action, build temporary bridge. What's that? So we have to then, well, I'll begin the quest, but I'm not sure if or how we're going to actually do that. So you shouldn't be able to walk through their village like that, I don't think. It should be sort of locked off to you. Let's go that way. Right, so these ones here, destroy the Necro Horde and through this other side. So let's go and have another look at the combat again. We'll just finish it off with some combat. Just saying, late to this, Daz, what's your impression so far? Yeah, ho-hum. Ho-hum would be the way I'd sum it up at this stage. Maybe that'll change in the future. Yeah, so it possibly will. It is like, this is an early version of the game. It's sort of like there's... I'm not saying, like, and again, I haven't played it past the monsoon, so I've got to be, you know, that's an aspect to it, but it's not the greatest game at this stage, you know, like it's not terrible, but it's just not great. And again, we're playing the same groups again that we had before. Yeah, I don't think we need to see this again, because this is essentially, I'll just do an instant resolution. Acknowledge that, but yeah, so it's sort of I don't know, there's just not a real lot to it that I can sort of see. It's ruined Daz's morning. Well, not yet. It's still early. It's still only 4 a.m. What did you think of the original? I was ho-hum about that as well, to be honest. I'm not seeing enough in this one to make me think, yeah, this has actually really, really improved a lot. To be honest, the Endless games, I just find they look great. They look beautiful. The graphic design looks fantastic. And when you first start playing them, you think, oh, there's a real lot in this. And then you realise that the actual game mechanics are very, very shallow. And you know, they just tend to look really, really good. Baron saying Battlemode will love this game, probably. Actually, I don't know if he will, to be honed. I'd be interested to get his perspective. You know, it's like I don't know if he's played it actually. I don't think he's got it, but it's yeah, I don't know. Like for me, I'll sit on the fence with this one. I think for a little while and just try to figure out what's you know, what's going on with it, and then yeah, maybe come back to it and again as another time. I think have like that when it started, we had those few little bugs and things, that sort of did piss me off a little bit. It's no Age of Wonder, says Chris. Yeah, it's like when I actually look at it in comparison to the other games with a lot of actual game mechanical depth to them, it sort of it just feels shallow, and I hate saying that because I was really hoping that it was going to be something special. But what I'll do is I'll close off this session, and I was thinking of I'll probably play something else today. I don't know if I'll record it back to YouTube because I know it crushes my YouTube, but I am wanting to play some Emperor of the Fading Suns because I've had a lot of people actually asking me to play that. So I may come back and play that. We do currently also have a Age of Wonders game. I now feel like I'm playing Age of Wonders just to get the depth. so it's sort of, but I'm not in love with this game. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks for. Can you showcase a battle? I did one before actually. Just showed a battle. That was the reason I zapped past that particular battle was because it was exactly the same battle as we did before. So if you look maybe an hour before now, it just had a look at it. Very simplistic. It's extremely simplistic, the battles. They haven't, from what I can see, and unless I'm missing something and something else happens later on in the game that I'm just not aware of, exactly the same as Endless Legend 1 is the way I'm sort of seeing them. Yeah, with you know, very, very limited and I'd say boring mechanics in the actual tactical battles. So the tactical battles Again, I'm probably going to have to read up about it and see if is there something I'm missing with this. Is there an aspect of this that's actually deeper than what I'm seeing? But I'm not seeing any depth to it. I'm seeing a lot of a lot of bling on the outside, but not a real lot of depth underneath that, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. So thanks for watching. I might be back later on, maybe play some Emperor of the Fading Suns or maybe some Age of Wonders. I'm not sure. I'll catch you then if you're around.